Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Welcome everyone, Hare Krishna. First of all, I apologize for taking break last week. I was keeping super busy with other duties, so I could not manage. So I apologize, but happy to be serving all of you this evening, depending on where you're joining us from, and this morning in America. So we finished up to the 17th verse of the 5th chapter of the 7th canto. So let's continue from the 18th. So Canto 7, Chapter 5, text 18. Ititam vividopāyair bhīṣayam tarjanādibhi Prahlādam grāhayāmāsa trivargasyopapadanam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Shanda and Amarka, the teachers of Prahlāda Mahārāja, chastised and threatened their disciple in various ways and began teaching him about the paths of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. That is the way they educated him. Srila Prabhupada's purport. In this verse, the words Prahlādam Grāhyam Asa are important. The words Grāhyam Asa literally mean that they tried to induce Prahlāda Mahārāja to accept the paths of Dharma, Artha, and Kama, which means everything but moksha. They don't want him to become spiritual. Religion, economic development, and sense gratification. People are generally preoccupied with these three concerns without interest in the path of liberation. Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlāda Mahārāja, was simply interested in gold and sense enjoyment. The word Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu refers to soft cushion and bedding on which people enjoy sense gratification. The word Prahlāda, however, refers to one who is always joyful in understanding Brahman, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Prahlāda means Prasannatma, always joyful. Prahlāda was always joyful in worshipping the Lord, but in accordance with the instruction of Hiranyakashipu, the teachers were interested in teaching him about material things. Materialistic persons think that the path of liberation is meant for improving their material conditions. The materialist goes to a temple to worship various types of demigods just to receive some benediction to improve his material life. He goes to a sadhu or so-called swami to take advantage of an easy method for achieving material opulence. In name of religion, the so-called sadhus try to satisfy the senses of the materialists by showing them shortcuts to material opulence. Srila Prabhupada is exposing modern materialistic spiritual pursuits. Sometimes they give some blessing or talisman. Sometimes they attract materialistic persons by producing gold. Then they declare themselves God, and foolish materialists are attracted to them for economic development. As a result of this process of cheating, others are reluctant to accept a spiritual process, a religious process, and instead they advise people in general to work for material advancement. This is going on all over the world. Not only now, but since time immemorial, no one is interested in moksha or liberation. There are four principles: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. People accept religion to become materially opulent. And why should one be materially opulent? For sense gratification. Thus, people prefer these three margas or paths of materialistic life. No one is interested in liberation, and Bhagavad Bhakti, devotional service to the Lord, is above even liberation. Therefore, the process of devotional service, Krishna consciousness, is extremely difficult to understand. This will be explained later by Prahlāda Mahārāja. The teachers Shanda and Amarka tried to induce Prahlāda Mahārāja to accept the materialistic way of life, but actually their attempt was a failure. Oh, such a brilliant purport, such a brilliant purport. Srila Prabhupada is talking about how there are two kinds of thoughts in this world, and since time immemorial it has been so. One who are interested in approaching God for serving him, and the others who don't want to approach God because they want to be happy in this world. Srila Prabhupada would give the example that when you're imprisoned, even if we are imprisoned with gold handcuffs or silver handcuffs or bronze handcuffs or iron handcuffs, the point is we are bound. So those who are in Swarga, in heaven, they are still in this material world, but with gold handcuffs. They are tied up with gold chains, which means you get to be Indra, you get to be Chandra, you get to be a Devata, and you have millions and trillions and quadrillions of wealth, and you have so many followers, and you have people who are glorifying and you have so much enjoyment, the garden, the beauty, the women, long life, everything is right. But te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti evam trayi dharma manuprapanna gata gatam kama kama labhante. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Traividyamam somapa puta papa yajnairištva svargatim prarthayante te punyam asadhya surendra lokam ashtanti divyan divideva bhogan. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that those who develop sattva gun, sometimes people ask this question, can't we be good without God? Yes, we can be good without God, and we can go up to sattva gun. We can rise early, we can take care of our health, we can give donation, give charity, do good to society. This is all sattva gun. No meat eating, healthy vegetable, green food habits, etc. That's all good, very nice. But at the end of it all, by doing manav seva, by being good to everyone, by practicing ahimsa, etc., we will go to heaven and we will become a devata. Just like Krishna says, Yanti deva vrata devan, pitrun yanti pitravrata, bhutani yanti bhutejya, yanti madhyaji nopima. Yepyanya devata bhakta, yajante shraddhayanvita, tepi mameva kaunteya, yajanti avidhi purvakam. All these verses are from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, by developing sattva gun, we become a devata. By developing rajogun, we will become another resident in this world. And by developing tamogun, we go down. We can even become one of the ghostly and very horrifying entities. It's possible by developing tamogun. As Krishna says that urdhvam gachanti sattvasta madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganya gunavrittista ado gachanti tamasa. If we develop sattvagun, we go up. We develop rajogun, we stay here. We develop tamogun, we go down. But what do devotees want? They want to go back to Krishna. They want to go back to Krishna. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjuna mamupaitya kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Krishna has said this very clearly, that natad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramamama. That if you really want to avoid the cycle of birth and death, then we don't want to go to heaven, we don't want to stay here, and we don't want to go down. We want to go back to Krishna, which means sattvagun is good, but we have to go beyond sattvagun. Sattvam vishuddham vasudeva shabdhitam. We want to attain bhakti. We want to attain nishchala bhakti rastu. As King Kulashekara in Mukundamala Stotra, he has said, my dear Lord, Naham vande tava charanayor dvandvam advandva heto kumbi pakam gurumapi hare narakam napanetum ramya rama mrudutanulata nandane napirantum bhave bhave hridaya bhavane bhavayeyam bhavantam nastha dharme navasunichaye naiva kamopabhoge yad bhavyam tad bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanu rupam etat prarthyam mama bahu matam janma janmantarepi tvat padambo ruha yugagata nischala bhaktirastu. Verse 4 and 5 of Mukundamala Stotra. Same point. King Kulashekara Alvar says, oh dear Krishna, I am not serving you. Dvandvam advandva heto. To go beyond the cycle of birth and death. I am not serving you. Kumbi pakam gurum apihere narakam napanetum. To avoid hell. I am not serving you. Ramya rama mrudu tanulata nandane napirantum. To become Indra and enjoy Swarga. That's not why I am serving you. Na astha dharme, na vasunichaye, naiva kamopabhogye. I am not worshipping you as a matter of duty because everyone says dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is not why I am serving you. Krishna says, then what is there beyond this? Kulashekara says, your lotus feet. I am serving you to attain you. Hey Prabhu, हम आपसे कुछ नहीं चाहते, हम आपको चाहते हैं. I don't want anything temporary from you. Don't be like a mother who's coming and just giving some toys to a crying baby in the cradle. The baby is crying, and when some toys are put around, the baby gets distracted. But when the hunger is intolerable, the baby doesn't want any toys. The baby wants the mother. The baby wants the milk of the mother and the embrace of the mother. So Kulashekara Alvar says, Bhave bhave hridaya bhavane bhavayeyam bhavantam. Krishna, I don't want your opulence. I want you. And Srila Prabhupada writes, just yesterday I was reading in one letter that Srila Prabhupada had written, Brilliant. Srila Prabhupada, in that letter, he writes how Krishna is like the mother also and like the father also. He says how? He says, just like a child, when you give the child in the hands of some stranger, the child starts to cry, right? Another stranger picks up, another neighbor or relative picks up whom the child doesn't recognize, the child starts to cry. The child will continue to cry in everyone's arms, but when that child comes into the arms of the mother, the chest of the mother, the embrace of the mother, then the child finds supreme joy. So Srila Prabhupada gave this example in that letter to show that we are like those children, and irrespective of whoever's hand we get into, any relationship, any object, any position, any opulence, whether we live in India or America or Australia or Middle East, wherever we may be, whichever body we may be, whichever relationship we may be, whatever opulence we may get, we will continue to cry in dukkha. Krishna is our eternal mother. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhushcha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Mata Ramo matpita Ramachandra, Swami Ramo matsakha Ramachandra, Sarvaswam me Ramachandro dayalu, Nanyam jane, naiva jane na jane. So there it is proven that the Lord is our mother, Mata Ramo. So only when the jiva comes in the arms of Sri Hari or the lotus feet of Sri Hari, like the child comes into the lap of the mother or the chest of the mother, embrace of the mother, the child will have complete peace. Similarly, a jiva can have complete peace, Srila Prabhupada writes, only in the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, nowhere else. Therefore, Rame chitta laya sada bhavatu me bho Rama mam uddhara. O Sri Ramachandra or Shyamachandra, Sri Krishna, my mind is like a bird and has been flapping around flapping the wings all around the sky to find some solace, to find some shelter. But ultimately, you see, the bird can travel everywhere. It finds complete shelter only in its own nest. So similarly, O Shri Krishna, my mind has been a bird which has been flapping with the wings of past worries, future worries. Past worries, future worries. These are the two wings that the bird of my mind has been flapping and going around the sky of 8.4 million species. Now, please let the nest of your lotus feet give me shelter. This is what Kulashekara Alvar is saying. So this is comparing God to mother. Now Srila Prabhupada compares Krishna to the father. How does he do that? He says, just like the father gives some investment money to the child to start a business, he gives some money to the child and says, you start your business. Now, whether using that money the child gets into smoking and drinking, or whether the child starts up with a business but no profit, is able to only recover as much money has been invested, or if he's an exceptionally good business oriented person, it's possible the father may give him 10 lakh rupees to start with and the child may make a net profit of 1 crore. May be possible with that business turnover. So Srila Prabhupada says similarly, Krishna, like the father, has given this body to us, which is the investment he has put in us. We are the children. Krishna is the father, and he has given this human form as the investment money to start with. Now, whether using that money, this body, we want to go in the lower species of life, which is complete loss of that money, or just recover enough and to get another human body next life, or make so much profit that with this temporary body, one is able to go back home, back to Godhead, which is eternal life. That is in our hands. As children, that independence we have. So in one letter, Srila Prabhupada, he shows how Krishna is like the mother, giving us shelter, and Krishna is like the father, giving us independence with that initial capital, money. So in this way, you can see Prahlāda Mahārāja is coming from that mindset that I want to serve Krishna, bhave bhave hridaya bhavane bhavayayam bhavantam. Like Kulashekara Alvar has said, that I want to serve Krishna only to attain him in my birth. इसी जन्म में भगवत प्राप्ति होनी चाहिए. This should be our samutkantha, asha bandha samutkantha. Sri Rup Goswami Pad has said, one should have hope against hope that yes, Krishna will shower mercy on me. He has showered so much mercy on me. He has given me eyes, He has given me ears, He has given me all faculties in this body. He has given me this human body without asking for it. So He will shower mercy. And at the same time, we should endeavor very hard. Why I'm giving this sales pitch is because very soon Kartik month is coming. So it is the time to make net profit, to make as much turnover profit as possible. 1 month, if not 12 months of bhajan, Krishna bhakti, at least 1 month of complete absorption. And I'll make some announcements at the end also about it. So Prahlāda Mahārāja is coming from that background, that mindset, that samskar, that impression that Narad Muni gave him while Prahlāda was in the womb. And Shanda and Amarka are coming from the background or the mindset that there is no need to worship God to attain Him. Instead, perform some spiritual activity, ultimately to be in this world. You have to take on the legacy of the kingdom, the legacy of kingship. You are the descendant, the heir to the throne. You are the successor to Hiranyakashipu. How can you go away and against his thought process? So Shanda and Amarka are coming from that background. Srila Prabhupada explains in this purport that these two categories of people always exist in society. When you make money, nobody has problem. When you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, nobody has a problem. When you buy 2-3 homes and 2-3 cars, nobody has a problem. Nobody, no relative will come and say, भैया देखो ये अच्छी बात है, this is good. कहीं इस जगत में फंसना नहीं. Don't get attached to these things. Nobody will say this. They will say, oh, very good. Congratulations. You have 5 homes, 10 homes, 3 cars. You have so much money. But as soon as you start chanting one round, everybody will give advice, unasked for advice, that there is no need to be so Krishna conscious. Now is not the time. When you get old, when you can't see anything, when you can't read, you become completely useless. That is the time to chant Hare Krishna. So these two mindsets are always there. Sura and Asura. Daivi Prakriti and Asurik Prakriti. This is always there from time immemorial. So what should we do is the question. We should do like Prahlāda Mahārāja. What did Prahlāda Mahārāja do? He never confronted. When Shanda and Amarka were saying, he was not preaching to them. He said, yes, what you're saying is correct. Oh, that is true. Perfect. So listen to everyone when they are giving advice. Yes, wonderful. What you're saying is so intelligent. Say that, acknowledge that. But in the heart of hearts, do what Bhagavatam is saying. Bhagavatam madaika bandho mat sangin. Bhagavatam is our actual friend. Man mahadhana. Srila Sanatana Goswami says, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is our wealth. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is our uncompromising, unwavering friend. Friends of this world, they will have mood swings. Today they are in good mood. So you talk to them, they will talk to you very nicely. Tomorrow that same friend will meet you, and when you say Hare Krishna, they will do, and then they will walk on the other end. Have you seen? Nature of this world. And then all day you're scratching your head. What went wrong? Did I say something wrong? Or maybe something that I did, they felt hurt about. Or maybe somebody else would have said something about me. How can I clarify? Unless they tell me what is troubling them, how can I do it? Then we go and we try. That is there something troubling you? And they'll say, no, everything is okay. I don't know why you feel like that. And then the whole situation becomes so complicated. Amazing thing about Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is he never goes through any mood swings. Never goes through any mood swings. He is always in the mood of compassion. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and it's so amazing. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam will never come on our face and give us advice when we are in bad mood. He waits for us to open his pages and approach him in a humble, seeking mood. Only then he will give advice. But sadhus are not like that. They will come. Even when Daksha Prajapati is extremely angry, Narad Muni goes and stands in front of him. Eka Bhagavata Bada Bhagavata Shastra, Ara Bhagavata Bhakta Bhakti Rasa Patra. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam as the Grantha is very kind and merciful. But more merciful is the sadhu who holds Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in his heart. Because he is ready to come in our lives. When we are not in a right mood, we may not open Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. But the person Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Bhakta Bhagavat, who is carrying Bhagavatam in his heart, he will come. Whether we are in happiness or distress, to come and help us. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, person Bhāgavatam, sadhu, and the Grantha Bhāgavatam, they are our best friend. When the mind is going, tossing and turning, very proud in joy and very depressed in sorrow, we should take shelter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We should not respond to tempting, agitating, irritating circumstances. Especially when the mind is agitated, somebody is writing something about us, an email, or writing something on social media, or sending some WhatsApp message about something that we said, which we didn't mean, but they felt that we meant it, and there's so many controversies. Instead of jumping into that pond and trying to sort it, let time pass. We take shelter of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. In that agitated mind, we chant Hare Krishna, we read Śrīmad Bhāgavatam for about 30-40 minutes, and we pray to Krishna that may the right response come in my life. Now at this point, what am I supposed to do? Krishna, Vyamoha Prashamaushadam, Muni Manovritti Pravrittaushadam. Whatever great souls do at this point, may that response come in my life. We should always think like that. If my Guru Maharaj is in this situation, or Srila Prabhupada is in this situation, or a great soul like Prahlāda Mahārāja is in this situation, what would they do? We want to walk in their footsteps. So here, when these two camps have been depicted in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, what is Prahlāda Mahārāja doing? Prahlāda Mahārāja, he agrees to what Chanda and Amarka are saying. Yes, yes, yes. What you're saying is correct. Keeping them happy. But in his heart, he doesn't change. What Narad Muni has taught him is the reality. So now we continue. 19. After some time, the teacher Chanda and Amarka thought that Prahlāda Mahārāja was sufficiently educated in the diplomatic affairs of pacifying public leaders, appeasing them by giving them lucrative posts, dividing and ruling over them, and punishing them in cases of disobedience. Then one fine day, after some more training, they're bringing Prahlāda Mahārāja in front of Hiranyakashipu. Then one day after Prahlada's mother had personally washed the boy and dressed him nicely with sufficient ornaments, they presented him before his father. Pādayo patitam balam pratinandya shishosura parishvajya chiram dorbhyam paramam apa nirvritim. Very beautiful words have been used. Pādayo patitam. As soon as Prahlāda Mahārāja saw Hiranyakashipu, Pādayoho patitam, he fell at Hiranyakashipu's feet. My Guru Maharaj once said, Ayogya vyakti ko bhi yogya samman dena chahiye. Why? Because whom we think as ayogya, Krishna lives in his heart also. So sadhu doesn't think that this person is treating me like this, I will also treat them like that. Hiranyakashipu was making plans to kill me, I will also try to kill him. Sadhu doesn't think like that. Vidya vivadaya dhanam madaya khalasya shakti parapidanaya sadhostu sarvam viparitameta jnanaya danaya charakshanaya. What does this mean? A sadhu and a wicked person, when you give them knowledge, wealth, and power, they use it differently. When a wicked person gets wealth, what does he do? He argues with other people. Vidya vivadaya. He uses vidya, knowledge, to fight with other people, to confront other people, to debate with other people, to argue with other people, out of pride that I know something that you don't. So vidya vivadaya. And how do they use wealth? Dhanam madaya. With wealth, they become intoxicated. They become proud. They look down on people. They talk rudely to others. And Shakti, when they get strength, Parapidanaya, it is to oppress others, to trouble others. If they get a post, they will levy taxes heavily. They will exploit the sincerity of others. Have you seen people when they go to a shopping mall, they will never argue. They will never bargain. But when they come to someone who is selling vegetables and fruits on the street, then if that person is saying even 20 rupees, they will say, ये तो बहुत महंगा है, why 20? वहाँ पे तो 12 रुपए का मिलता है, यहाँ 13 रुपए का मिलता है. Those people who are hardly making no profit in 20 rupees, 30 rupees, or rickshaw wallahs who are hardly charging 30 or 50 rupees, we'll argue there. But that same person will get into a Bata showroom and get a shoe for 650 rupees or something. I'm just giving an example. So when we get position, We think those whom we can't oppress, we will not. But those whom we can press to the limit, we will. Right? So those who are wicked, vidya vivadaya dhanam madaya khalasya shakti parapidanaya. But sadhu, a pure Vaishnav, sadhostu sarvam viparitam etad. Sadhu uses all three differently. Jnanaya, danaya cha rakshanaya. When he gets knowledge, he shares it with others. When he gets wealth, he gives in charity. Srila Prabhupada writes in one letter, a Brahmana may be a multi-millionaire early in the morning, but he sleeps at night as a beggar. Even if the king comes and gives the whole kingdom in charity to a Brahmana, by the end of the day, the Brahmana has given that in charity. Srila Prabhupada writes in one letter. So sadhu uses knowledge, shastric knowledge, to preach, to share, and wealth to donate, and strength, rakshanaya, to protect. A sadhu uses his spiritual strength to give shelter to others and protect them from the cycle of birth and death. So here you can see Prahlāda Mahārāja is so humble. Pādayo patitam, Hiranyakashipu ke charanon mein ghirkar. What is he doing? And the word used is Pādayo patitam balam. Balam means Prahlāda Mahārāja is less than 5 years old. Balyavastha, Kaumaravastha, little child. And pratinandya, ashisha asuraha. What is the asura doing? He is giving ashisha, Hiranyakashipu's blessing. Imagine a little child offering obeisances. Let's say you're coming to the temple and you find a little 4-year-old child with tilak and has a bead bag around his neck and little dhoti. Of course, actual dhoti cannot fit him, so like a little stitched dhoti that he pulls up like pants. Have you seen children? They have a stitched dhoti that they pull up like pants, and they run around in the temple, and that dhoti also starts to slip, and they have to keep pulling it as they're running. So a child like that, a little boy like that with tilak and bead bag, is offering complete obeisances to the deities or Srila Prabhupada. So any person's heart will melt. They will look and they'll say, oh, this child has some nice samskars from past life. That's why it's continuing. So Prahlāda, and especially if that is one's own child, imagine Hiranyakashipu, who's hard-hearted, but he looks at Prahlāda, Balam, and Pratinandya Ashisha Surah. The Asura is giving Ashisha blessings. And he's saying, Are, ut jao. No, don't offer obeisance. Come, sit on my lap. Your position is not on my feet. Your position is on my lap. Come, sit. Others may be offering obeisances to me. Hiranyakashipu is looking at Prahlāda. No, you don't offer obeisances. You come, you sit here. You are the next king in the future. You are a part of my heart. Come, get up. And Parishvajya, he picks Prahlāda up, and Parishvajya with Dorbhyam, with both his arms, not one arm, which explains and expresses his affection for Prahlāda. He's embracing with so much affection and chiram for a long time. He's picking up Prahlāda, embracing him, and as he's embracing him, Prahlāda's arms are going around the neck of Hiranyakashipu. So seeing that, paramam apam nivritim, he finds Hiranyakashipu, finds so much joy that tears are dripping from his eyes and wetting the body of Prahlāda. Generally, when we think of Hiranyakashipu, we don't see that emotion depicted. But here in this one verse, and you can see Shukdev Goswami's poetic ability, he has used Anupras Alankar here so brilliantly with the syllable pa, because pa stands for Prahlāda. So with that pa syllable, you can see Pādayo, Patitam, Pratinandya, Parishvajya, Paramam. It's called alliteration in English. So he has used that beautiful, Sri Shukdev Goswami has used Anupras Alankar so brilliantly in the Bhagavatam. So when Hiranyakashipu saw his child had fallen at his feet and was offering obeisances, as an affectionate father, he immediately began showering blessings upon the child and embraced him with both arms. A father naturally feels happy to embrace his son, and Hiranyakashipu became very happy this way. So paramam apa nivritim. So much joy. So much joy. So then, text 21. Aropya ankam avagrahya. He picked up Prahlāda. Now after the embrace, he kept him on his lap. And avagrahya, murdhani, ashru kalambubihi. Kala ambubi, with tears dripping from his eyes, he is bathing Prahlāda. And also murdhani avagrahya. he starts smelling the top of Prahlad's head. Hiranyakashipu is smelling. Because in Vedic culture, when a father or a mother smells the head of the child, it is described the child lives long. So Krishna lived for 125 years. So you can imagine how much Nanda and Yashoda may have smelt his head as Bal Gopal. And Asinchan Vikasat Vaktram Idam Aha Yudhishthira. Narad Muni is continuing to speak to Yudhishthir Maharaj that Vikasat Vaktram, with smiling face. Prahlāda Mahārāja had a smiling face. So Asinchan, he wet that smiling face, Hiranyakashipu, with his tears. And he spoke to his son. Hiranyakashipu Ruvacha, text 22. Prahlāda anucyatam tata swadhitam kinchiduttamam kalena etavata ayushman yad ashikshat guror bhavan. My dear Prahlāda, my dear son, O long-lived one, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge. Now it's interesting. Hiranyakashipu, while asking, he says, Swadhitam kinjit uttamam. Whatever you have studied which you feel is uttamam, which is the best. Where have you studied from? Yad ashikshat guroho bhavan. The word guroho refers to from your teacher. And it has been like the word guru, guroho, guruvoho, gurunam in Shashti. And Panchami also guroho, gurubhyam. So what have you learned from one teacher is the question. अपने गुरु से तुमने क्या सीख प्राप्त की? This is the question. From one teacher. So which means between Shanda and Amarka, either putting them as one unit or between the two, whoever has taught you more, what is that thing that you have learned best from them? Swadhitam, what you have learned, and ashikshat, what your gurus have taught you. So when Prahlāda Mahārāja hears the word guru, he naturally thinks of one guru, that is Narada Muni. Because name has not been mentioned here, there is no Shanda, there is no Amarka, and Dvivachan has not been used, Ekavachan has been used. So who is that one teacher that he has learnt from? Narada Muni. So then when he's asking this question, what is the best thing you have studied and learnt from your guru? You please share that. Prahlāda Mahārāja begins, 23 and 24, probably the heartbeat of the 7th canto. Prahlāda Mahārāja tells Hiranyakashipu, Sri Prahlāda Uvacha, Śravaṇam Kīrtanam Vishno Smaraṇam Pāda-sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dāsyam Sakhyam Ātma-nivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishno Bhaktischennava Kriyate Bhagavatyadha Tanmanye Dhitam Uttamam. My dear father, these are the things that I find as the best of all knowledge which I have learned from my guru. What is that? Śravaṇam, to hear about Sri Hari. Kīrtanam, to glorify Sri Hari. So till now the word Hari has not come. So therefore Śravaṇam, Kīrtanam, Vishnoho, that Vishnoho, of Vishnu, Shashti, to the word Vishnu. Vishnoho Śravaṇam, Vishnoho Kīrtanam, Vishnoho Smaraṇam, Vishnoho Pāda-sevanam, Vishnoho Archanam, Vishnoho Vandanam. That word Vishnu will go with all of them. Hearing about Vishnu, chanting about Vishnu, Śravaṇam and Kīrtanam. So he talks about Navadha Bhakti, Navalakshana. What are the 9 different aspects of Bhakti? Śravaṇam, hearing about Sri Hari, Kīrtanam, Japa and Kirtan, or even speaking Bhagavatam is Kīrtanam. Smaraṇam, to remember. Pāda-sevanam, to serve the lotus feet. 5th, Archanam, deity worship. 6th, Vandanam, offering prayers. And then Dāsyam, Sakhyam, and Ātma-nivedana. 7th, 8th, and 9th. Dāsyam means to consider oneself to be a servant of Sri Hari. Sakhyam, to consider oneself to be a friend of Sri Hari. And Ātma-nivedanam, complete surrender at the lotus feet of Sri Hari. These 9 different limbs, Prahlāda Mahārāja says, Iti pumsa arpita Vishnu bhaktischennava lakshana. Generally, we know Śravaṇam, Kīrtanam, Vishnu, Smaraṇam, Pāda-sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dāsyam, Sakhyam, Ātma-nivedanam. But actually, the next verse, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Lakshana, is more important. Because Prahlāda Mahārāja, he's saying before doing these limbs, the first thing that should be done is Pumsa Arpita Vishnu, surrender. First, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Praja. First, take shelter of Sri Hari. First, tell Krishna, Hey Krishna, Tavasmi, I belong to you. And in this mood, hear about him. When someone is hearing without surrender to Sri Hari, for example, let's say somebody just comes to a temple and they're just visiting the area, so they just happen to come to a temple. They are also hearing Katha, but that is not termed as bhakti. Why? Because they are hearing with no surrender, with no attachment to Sri Krishna. There is no sambandha. On the other hand, let's say somebody is performing bhakti for 20, 30 years and they have this firm conviction in their heart that Jiver Swarupa Hoye Krishna Nityadas, that I am a servant of Sri Krishna and my service to my master is to hear his glories. So both the newcomer and someone who's practicing for many years, they're both hearing the same Hari Katha. But the one who's hearing with surrender, Iti Pumsa Arpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Lakshana. If surrender is there, if Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja comes first, then Manmana Bhava Mad Bhaktau Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijani Priyoshi Me. That comes later. In the sense, although in the Gita you will find 65 and then 66. But it is actually Sarva Dharman which comes first, in surrender. इति पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्तिश्चेन्नव लक्षण. हे प्रभु, आप मेरे स्वामी हैं, मैं आपका दास हूं, जन्म जन्मांतर हमारा यही संबंध है. यदि ये निष्ठा हृदय में जागृत हो जाए, इफ दिस फर्म फेथ इज देयर, कृष्णा, यू आर माई मास्टर एंड आई एम योर सर्वेंट, एंड टू प्लीज यू आई एम सर्विंग विथ माई ईयर, टू प्लीज यू आई एम सर्विंग यू विथ माई आईज, टू प्लीज यू आई एम सर्विंग यू विथ माई टंग. In this mood, when different limbs are performed, then they are called bhakti. This is what Prahlāda Mahārāja is saying. And kriyate bhagavatyadda tanmanye adhitam uttamam. That if in this way one performs surrendered bhakti completely, adha, completely, samyak, purnataya, at the lotus feet of Sri Hari, Bhagavati, again Bhagwan, Bhagavat Shabda, Saptami Ekvachan, at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, Bhagavati. At the lotus feet of Sri Hari, if one is performing these 9 limbs of bhakti, tat aham manye, that I agree, that I think, मैं ऐसे मानता हूँ, Prahlāda says, adhitam uttamam is the best thing to be learnt in all the 4 Vedas. So tomorrow if somebody comes and tells us that आपके संस्था में, आपके परंपरा में आपको ऊट-पटांग बातें बताई गई, आपको बताया जाता है कि कृष्ण की ही भक्ति करनी चाहिए, आपको बताया जाता है कि भगवान है, somebody comes and challenges tomorrow, you can tell them, this is not my sampradaya, this is not my sanstha, this is not my blind faith. This verse, these 2 verses of Prahlāda Mahārāja is what we are trying to follow. Everybody who's seeing Mahavatar Narasimha, they're all coming moist-eyed, moist-eared, seeing the devotion of Prahlāda. And that same Prahlāda Mahārāja, whose glory has been sung in the 7th canto, he's telling Hiranyakashipu fearlessly that the best thing that I've learned from my Guru, the best thing that can be studied in the 4 Vedas, is surrender to Sri Hari, to Vishnu. Vishnu means Krishna. For Krishna Bhaktas, Vikriditam Vrajabadhubi Ridam Cha Vishnu. Vishnu is Krishna. So hearing about Krishna, Vishnu includes Ramachandra, Nrsimhadev, depending on one's Thai bhav. So when someone is having attachment to Lakshmi Narayan, that is also included in this verse. Somebody has attachment to Lakshmi Nrsimha, that is also included in this verse. Somebody has attachment, Siya Ramamai Sab Jag Jani, Karahu Pranam Jodi Jugupani, Mangat Tulasi Das Kar Jore, Basai Ram Siya Manas Amore. Somebody has attachment to Sita Ram, that is also included in this verse. And somebody Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugal Kishore, Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mor. That is also included in this verse. So Vishnu Tattva is what Prahlāda Mahārāja is saying. Nobody else. He doesn't refer to any devata. He doesn't refer to any godmen of this world. Tomorrow you find any human being being worshipped in some temple with some deity. That is not in line with Prahlāda Mahārāja. That is somebody's opinion. Krishna pranami na punarbhavaya. Somebody who bows down to Krishna, offers obeisances to Sri Hari, na punarbhavaya. Such a person will not take rebirth, but everybody else will. Everybody else will. So, iti pumsarpita Vishnu. The word Vishnu has come twice, so it's very important. Śravaṇam Kīrtanam Vishnu, and similarly, iti pumsarpita Vishnu, bhaktischén navalakshana. So, even for these 9 limbs of bhakti, if you see Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Bhajan madhye sarvasreshta navavida bhakti, Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare mahashakti, tar madhye sarvasreshta nam sankirtan, nir aparada nama laile paye premadhan. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, our Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who's not just Radha and Krishna, he is also our Bhajan Shiksha Guru. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna, they are Vilas Murti in Vrindavan. They are Madhurya Murti. They are forms of sweetness. But when they appear in the supreme form of sweetness, but imbued with so much compassion and instructive mood as a Jagat Guru, that is Śrīmad Mahaprabhu. So our worship should be Gaur Nitai. They are the greatest devotees. In Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to find sadhu. Durlabham manusho deho dehinam kshanabhangura tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshanam. Very rare to find a pure Vaishnava. So therefore, Radha and Krishna, Vrishabhanu Nandini Radharani and Sri Shyam Sundar, both have appeared as the greatest sadhu. So at home, you can sit next to your deity of Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, Gaur Nitai, and you're in sadhu sangha. So you have Radha and Krishna love us so much that to give us sadhu sangha, they have come as the greatest devotee. So when you worship Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, you get the benefit of worshipping Krishna, and you also get the benefit of worshipping Vaishnavas. Generally, if you worship Vaishnavas, you're not worshipping Krishna. When you worship Krishna, you're not worshipping Vaishnavas. But when you worship Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, you get the benefit of worshipping Radha Krishna also, and you get the benefit of worshipping sadhus also, Vaishnavas also. Therefore, in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, we worship Radha Krishna, but we also supremely worship Shri Shri Gaur Nitai. Because by worshipping Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, we get love for Radha Krishna. Dhana mora Nityananda, pati mora Gaura Chandra, prana mor Jugal Kishore, prana mor Jugal Kishore. Shri Gaur Nitai, they are taking us there. Nitayar Karuna Have Braje Radha Krishna Pave. She Shambandha Nahi Jar, Britho Janmo Gelo Tar, Sei Pashu Bada Durachar. So, Gaur Nitai are sadhus, Gaur Nitai are Krishna Balram, Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna, Nityananda Prabhu becomes Ananga Manjari. It is unbelievable. Madhuri Rati manifests in this world with Audarya mood of magnanimity. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that of all the different aspects of bhakti, Navavida Bhakti, these 9 limbs that Prahlāda Mahārāja has talked about, they are highly powerful. Highly powerful. And in that also, Śravaṇam and Kīrtanam are the topmost. Śravaṇa Adi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udoy. Sometimes people may think, sitting and hearing Bhagavatam, do some practical service. Do some practical service. Chop some vegetables and make some garlands and mop the floor. Yes, those all services are important. Chopping vegetables and feeding the deity and cooking for the Vaishnavas is important. Cleaning the temple floor, because cleanliness is next to godliness, is very important. Chaturvid Shri Vigraharadhana Nityanana Shringara Tanmandiramarjanada, very important. Similarly, worshipping the deity is very important. All practical services, menial services, very important. But we must understand, sitting and hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is also service. Otherwise, how can the ears serve? If all the services are done by the hands and the feet, how can my ears serve? How can my eyes serve? My eyes can serve only when I read Bhagavatam. My ears can serve only when I hear Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan. So yes, it is important to be absorbed in the service, but it is also service to be absorbed in Hari Katha. To be absorbed hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is also service. Parikshit Maharaj, in the last 7 days of his life, he preferred Śravaṇa Bhakti, to sit and hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, even if we are not able to execute what we are hearing. Sometimes devotees ask that question also. Prabhu, hum sun rahe hain, सालों साल सुन रहे हैं, for years together we are hearing, but somehow we are not able to remember those things, and at the same time we are not able to apply in real life. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Just hearing that sound vibration, pravishta karanarandrena swanam bhava saroruham, that in itself is bhakti. It is not that by hearing we have to bring in some actionable result. Yes, that is definitely good, but even if we are not able to, just sitting and hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam sincerely, that in itself is bhakti. That is Śravaṇa Bhakti. Krishna has given us 2 years so that we can either direction, we can hear Hari Katha. Parikshit Maharaj otherwise wouldn't have been used as an example. Shri Vishnu Shravane Parikshita Bhavat Vaiyasaki Kīrtane. Shukdev Goswami has been explained as the greatest example of Kirtan because he spoke Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj heard Bhagavatam. Prahlāda Mahārāja was the example of Smaraṇa Bhakti. So Śravaṇa Bhakti is Parikshit, Kīrtan Bhakti Shukdev Goswami, and Smaraṇa Bhakti, remembering Krishna in all directions at all times, is Prahlāda Mahārāja. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pāda-sevanam, Lakshmi Devi. Although Lakshmi Devi has the position of Shrivatsa, a golden hair on the beautiful, wonderful chest of Mahavishnu, Lakshmi resides in the heart of Vishnu, but she prefers to serve the lotus feet, Pāda-sevanam. So in this way you can see all the great souls, whether it is Ambarish Maharaj or Prithu Maharaj, they are serving the deity, and so Archanam, and then Vandanam. Akrura offered such beautiful prayers while entering Vrindavan Dham, and after seeing Krishna and Balaram, their footprints in the dust of Vrindavan. So he is the example for Vandanam. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pāda-sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dāsyam, Kapipati, the king among monkeys, either Sugriva or Hanuman. Hanuman, even higher example of Dāsya Bhakti as a servant. And as Sakhya, you have so many friends of Krishna, but in the respect of Bhagavad Gita and public opinion, Arjuna, best friend. Where while hearing the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna says, among this I am this, among this I am this, among this I am this, then Krishna says, among the Pandavas. And Arjuna in humility, he thinks Krishna will say Yudhishthir. Why will he say any other name? He will say Yudhishthir. He may say Pandavanam Yudhishthira. So Arjuna in humility, he thinks, yes, and that is so true. Yudhishthir Maharaj is the best Pandav. Krishna smiles at Arjun at that point on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he says, Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Among the Pandavas, I am Dhananjaya. I am you. I am Arjun. So wonderful. Bhagavad Gita has so much sweetness. So much sweetness. When we don't tap into that sweetness, we may think this is so boring, this is so technical. But Krishna is Rasik Shekhar. He is Rasraj. He is the abode of all mellows. How can that, Yaswayam Padmanabhasya Mukhapadmad Vinisritaha, that which has come from his lotus lips, how can that be anything apart from being sweet and mellowful? So Prahlāda Mahārāja has spoken about these limbs of bhakti, and at Sakhyam we said Arjuna, and at Ātma-nivedanam, Bali Maharaj. Because when Vaman Dev said, you have promised me 3 steps, and in 2 steps I have taken everything, where can I keep my 3rd step? You're going wrong in your promise. Bali Maharaj said, in my 2 steps you have taken things that belong to me. In the 3rd step, please accept me who belongs to you. Please accept me. So, Ātma-nivedana. So, all these 9 limbs of bhakti are very important. In our present state, if you actually analyze, Ātma-nivedanam, complete surrender, may be very lofty. We may not be able to do that. Sakhyam may be very difficult to consider Krishna to be our friend. Now we may think, and next moment we may forget. Dasyam is possible. Dasyam is possible. Archanam is possible. Worshipping a deity or worshipping the picture, that is possible. Vandanam is very much possible. Offering prayers, we all can. Pāda-sevanam again may be a little difficult with practicality. Smaraṇam, remembering Krishna at all times, very difficult. One devotee was saying, Prabhu, I forget that I have to remember. I know that I have to remember, but then I forget to remember that I have to remember. So, Śravaṇam, Kīrtanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dāsya. Out of those 9 also we can shortlist 5. In that also, if you see, Archanam and Pāda-sevanam at all times may not be possible. But considering oneself moment to moment that I am a servant of Radha and Krishna, I am a servant of Sri Krishna, I am Das, Gopi Bharto Pada Kamalayor, Dasa Dasanudasa, Bhrityasya Bhritya, Iti Mam Smaralokanatha. All these verses say, Dasoham Iti Mam Matva Kshamasva Madhusudana. Sakradeva prapanno yastava asmi iti sayachate. Tavaiva asmi na jivami tvaya bina. All these verses say, I am your servant, Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Krishna das e bishwas korle to ar dukha noy. No suffering can touch if we keep telling ourselves, I am the servant of Sri Hari. Why do I have to fear? Lokasya vyasanappana danadana karo dasasya kim nakshama. If Vishnu can protect the whole world, Lokasya vyasanapana danadana karo. If he can protect the whole world, then dasasya kim nakshama. Then why for his own servant he will not move mountains? पूरे जगत की यदि रक्षा कर सकते हैं तो अपने दास की रक्षा क्यों ना करें? Why will he not protect his servant if he is ready to maintain the whole world? So Dasyam is possible. As we are chanting Harinam also, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has advised that as we are chanting, after every 4 rounds, if you're chanting 16 rounds, every 4 rounds, we should offer one obeisance to Krishna. And we should say, Krishna, I am your servant. I am trying to serve you. This advice Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given. At the end of every 4 rounds to bow down to Krishna and say, Krishna, I am your servant, you are my master. आप मेरे स्वामी हो, मैं आपका दास हूं. This is our relationship. So this is Dasya Bhakti. And Śravaṇam, hearing every day, and Kīrtanam, Japa and Kirtan. We should take some time out. In however busy our schedule may be, maybe 20 minutes of hearing, another 10 minutes of Kirtan, sitting in front of the deity. You can take kartal, mridanga, or harmonium, or if nothing, just sing. Krishna is not sitting there to see your musical ability. Krishna is not seeing your tal and lay and sur. Of course, if you can add that, great. If not, you can always tell Sri Hari, that is how you made me. I am offering to you what you have given me. If you wanted sur and tal, you should have given that in my kantha. You did not give it to me. Now please don't blame me. Whatever salary you have given me, out of that I am giving it back to you. So if master is giving 30,000 rupees salary to the servant, he can't expect the servant to give a palace to the master because I can't afford. So Krishna, whatever you have given me, out of that I am offering it back to you. So whatever ability we have, 10 minutes we can sit and sing bhajans. Amar Jiban Sada Pape Rata Nahiko Punnera Lesha. Singing different songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Gita Mala, Gitavali, Kalyana Kalpatru, Sharanagati. These are all different songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Every day, we can take 1 or 2 songs, sing it in front of Krishna, whichever melody you like. Sing it in a melody that is easy. And you can sing it once, no problem, but read the meaning, understand the meaning, and move on. So 20 minutes of hearing, 10 minutes of Kirtan, and chanting japa, and reading Bhagavatam for 15-20 minutes. Serving tulsi, offering obeisances to Krishna, 1 obeisance in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. Very simple. This is Dasya Bhakti also, Kirtan Bhakti also, By hearing Bhagavatam and reading, there is Śravaṇa Bhakti also. And by singing bhajans, you're also doing Vandana. And because we are doing it in front of the deity, it is also Archanam. You're also doing deity worship. So in this way, we can make a plan. 10 minutes each, 20 minutes each, and offer some bhakti to Krishna. So this purport, text 23 and 24, that Srila Prabhupada has given is phenomenal. It's beautiful. So my request to everyone on the call, please try to read this purport line by line. Yes, it runs into many pages. Many pages. On my Śrīmad Bhāgavatam copy, which is the smaller edition, the purport starts on 255, page 255, and it goes up to 270 in my version. So that's about good 15, 16 pages of reading of purport. So please do read. Now you may have a question that to read this, it will take a long time. And you have to read this before the next class. So it may take a long time. So what to do? So to make things easy for everyone, this will be the last 7th canto class, because starting next class on Thursday, our Kartik Katha will begin. Kartik Katha begins on Thursday, which is Vijay Dashami, Ram Vijayotsava, and we will have Katha up to the end of Kartik. So we go from Ram Vijayotsava, which is Dashami, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and then Sharat Purnima to the Purnima at the end, including Bhishma Panchak. So basically the Katha will go for about 35, 36 days, every single day, and use that time to read the purport. We're giving 35 days so that we can read the 15 pages of purport. And after Kartik, of course, Tuesday, Thursday, 7th Canto Bhagavatam will continue. So till then, we will take a break. We wouldn't have 7th Canto readings. We will have 10th Canto classes for Kartik. And also, I don't know if this is good news or bad news. This time, we will have 2 classes every day, one in Hindi and one in English, because devotees have been telling me, why don't you speak in English? So then when we speak in English, then they say, why don't you speak in Hindi? Because we don't understand English. So for this month of Kartik, we will have 2 kathas every day. And the timings will be 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern Time, English katha, 7:30 to 8:30. So that's you can calculate depending on the time zone. Those in UK, those in Australia and New Zealand, and those in India, and those in America in the Pacific time zone. Please do calculate according to that. 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning, Eastern time. That's, I think in India it will be 5 to 6 in the evening, right? That will be the time. So that will be English katha. The topic for English Katha will be childhood pastimes of Krishna for one whole month. We will be having a discussion on the 8th chapter of the 10th canto. So that will include the name-giving ceremony for Krishna. It will include Krishna's butter stealing pastimes, Krishna's crawling, of course, and Mridbhakshan Leela. All of them in the English Katha, verse by verse. My only struggle will be I don't know how I will finish it because there are more than 50 verses in the chapter. But Krishna willing, we will try to do something. The Hindi Katha timing will be the same as the 7th canto. That is 10:30 to 11:30, which in India will be, I think, 8 to 9 at night, right? That is the time in India, 8 to 9 at night. So just to repeat, 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning Eastern time will be the English Katha on childhood pastimes of Krishna based on the 8th chapter of the 10th canto, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And the Hindi Katha will be 10:30 to 11:30 Eastern time, the same time as the 7th canto. And the topic for the Hindi will be Venu Geet. We will be doing verse by verse on Venu Geet. Devotees have been saying, where are those kathas? Where is the playlist? We want to hear Venu Geet. So we are bringing Venu Geet again, this time in Hindi. So this is a very tall order, very high thing to catch up. I don't know. I am already starting to feel hoarse and pain in my throat with all the Hari Katha. I don't know how this is going to happen. All of you, please offer your blessings and your prayers. May what I have promised, may I have by your blessings and your prayers the ability to complete my sankalpa this Kartik. We thought of serving these two kathas. So two parallel topics with 2 hours break in the middle. So 7:30 to 8:30, and then 2 hours. You can be relaxed, and then we'll see you again for the Hindi. And those who prefer to hear only English, you can pick accordingly. Those who prefer to hear Hindi, you can pick accordingly. There's absolutely no hard and fast rule. So thank you so much. This is the announcement I wanted to make. Thank you very much. Please give me your blessings and prayers. And with this, we will pause here.